We are now in the estuarium wet lab where our two new young flounder will be going into a tank for observation. There's the first little guy. Here comes the second. This is one of our quarantine tanks in the wet lab. These guys will be observed for a period of time to make sure they're going to adapt to captivity. It will also give me time to set up a new tank for them. See if we can move in a little bit on these guys. They're going to be a lot of fun over the coming months if they choose to accept captivity. They become rather easily acclimated to humans, and I'm looking forward to when kids come to visit and walk up to the flounder tank and put their little noses down to look in and see the flounder coming and swimming towards them expecting to be fed. So these are our new flounder, and they'll soon hopefully be occupying a tank in our main display hall. One thing that I did notice when I went back and reviewed the video from earlier when we were at Pigeon Point is I'm still having trouble working my vision in concert with what the camera picks up. Unfortunately, and I'm still trying to work this out, when the camera can see what's at the tips of my fingers and what I'm doing, I can't. That's why the shots of me using the clippers to remove the fish from the cast net weren't all that great. So this is something I need to work on, and hopefully the videos will improve over time. So I'll keep working on it. This is Bob Bender, curator at the Low Country Estuarium, saying so long till we meet on the next tide. This is one of our young flounder. This is a summer flounder. You can tell by those rather distinctive spots on it. And over here is the other one, partially hidden by an oyster cluster. These two guys have finally learned to eat. I'm happy to report it took it took 10 days for them to start feeding, but they are feeding now, and they are soon to be moved to their new home. The new home of our young flounder. I've set this tank up with a shell bottom at one end, transitioning to a sand bottom at the other end. Now the reason I did that is because it's quite interesting, it will be quite interesting for folks to be able to observe the little flounders as they move back and forth between the shell end and the sand end. The reason is that when it swims, if it's in the sand, it has a solid color matching that of the sand. If it picks up and swims and settles on the shell side, immediately upon settling down, it turns a blotchy color, a camouflage color, to blend in with the shell bottom. The reverse is true. When it picks up and swims back to the sandy side, instantly upon settling upon the sand, it will change back to the solid color and blend in with the sand. It will also vigorously flip its fins and partially bury down in the sand. Only its eyes exposed above the sand. I expect that at some point when we're filming the little flounders, you'll actually be able to see that action. But first we got to get them moved in. Here are our two young flounders about to be introduced to their new home tank, and I just noticed something rather disturbing on this guy here. I'm looking at his mouth, his head area, and he appears to have some injury there. Once I get these guys in their new tank, I'll be administering some medication to deal with that. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to, let's see if they head straight for the sand here upon being introduced. Come on, guys. Holding on to the inside of the container. Here comes one. Boom, into the sand. The other guy. There went a grass shrimp. See if we can get this other guy to come out now. Oh. Now, the one in the back is almost invisible. Partially covered by the sand. They're both in their new homes now, and I'll be observing them over the next few days. Particular concerned with this guy here regarding the injury to his mouth area. I don't know how that would have happened, unless it might have been the two fighting over a piece of food, jaw to jaw, which is possible. But they're in their new home now, so we'll give them time to become acclimated and give them some peace.